they were sliding, and we're not able to change our traction control settings. It's just a fixed thing, but here we are, F1 2022. Let's talk about this and jump right into the race as we get a bit of a slow start as our teammate gets right ahead of us. But oh yeah, I also forgot to tell you is I did have to record the race twice, and I believe somewhere in between in this race it stops recording, but I do notice it. It's towards the end, but I did have to record this race twice as the first one just glitched out and the game crashed. The recording stopped. I tried seeing if the recording caught the crash, but it stopped as soon as the game froze, and nothing saved, so I had to restart. But this definitely gave me a little bit of an advantage because I was about 10 laps in or so, or 7 laps, and I knew all the braking points, and I just pitted in that session that we had to restart. But it wasn't the most exciting race. We were roughly P15th, but I'm definitely hoping that we can do much better in this race as we are already in P17th and not far behind Yuki Tsunoda and Zhou Guan Yu, and they appear to be in a big train with the Haas, Pierre Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, someone else, and 2 of the McLarens, as we do gain a little bit of time coming around that corner. Not a terrible amount, as Yuki Tsunoda is able to take some of it back with the slipstream, but hopefully around here, with the cars traveling so close together, we're able to get right up against them, as the AI following each other usually doesn't really end good, especially around fast corners, them trying to go side by side, as towards the end of lap 2 we go for a move on Yuki Tsunoda as we send it down the inside, and we have the inside racing line, and this allows us to get a much better position than the other 2 cars, and we're just a little bit faster than Zhou Guan Yu as we overtake him down the pit straight. And he tries to go for Yuki Tsunoda tries to go for a move, but we're able to stick our elbows out and keep position as we're already up into P14th. Now we have our eyes on Valtteri Bottas and Mick Schumacher, and hopefully we can get some points with hopefully a good strategy and maybe a safety car. But we will have to wait and see, as these corners definitely not my cleanest corners, as you'll see me go wide a lot there. But coming into here just a little bit wide, don't really lock up, but we are on the verge of locking up, but just a little bit too wide, but nothing that will throw us too far behind Valtteri Bottas, as we do have DRS coming down this straight, but so will he on Mick Schumacher. It's now just time to see if our ERS is powerful enough to help us gain more of an advantage, as Yuki Tsunoda will be looking to regain his P15th spot on track. But as we are gaining, our ERS is definitely powerful, as we are within half a second and gaining almost down to 4/10 by the end of this straight. We're definitely going to have to wait another lap, as after the pit straight, you do have to wait a couple of turns in order to get a good overtaking zone, as coming through here, it's a bit difficult to actually overtake, as the entrance into that straight before that corner is a bit weird and not my forte, as we're just ever so slightly gaining on Valtteri, as hopefully we can send it into the final corner of the track. And also here, very hard to overtake, as even if you do overtake, you'll just completely lose the cars ahead of you, as we almost lose it but manage to hold on. Nothing terrible, but we're applying heavy ERS, not quite able to send it down the inside of Valtteri, but we are still quite close, and hopefully we can send it into turn 1, as we seem to be gaining very fast. A lot of people in the pits shooting us up into P11th as we go in with Valtteri Bottas, as you can see, locked up right there, just giving us a free position and not much of a fight, allowing us to stay within a decent amount of time behind Mick Schumacher instead of within half a second or so, as it probably would have happened if we fought through those 2 corners. But we are unable to get with Mick before we pit, as we pitted at the end of that lap. But as you can see, it might be a little bit laggy. I was scared that the game was going to crash again, but we pit onto the medium tires. Takes us a minute to actually release from the pit, and we are set right behind Pierre Gasly, who I don't believe we were able to overtake, and I think he had a slow pit stop, as I'm pretty sure he was ahead of Mick Schumacher, who hasn't pitted yet. That's Kevin Magnussen. But yeah, I do not believe we have overtaken Pierre Gasly, and we are right behind him. But these AI are just so good at heating up the tires. As in this game, it's very, very hard to heat up the tires out of the pits. Luckily, they changed the glitch where if you had the formation lap off, your tires would be 60 to 75 degrees Celsius, as Mick Schumacher comes out just behind us. And this is perfect, as he has the hards on, and he's going to definitely have to warm up his tires a little bit. But trying to overtake around here is very bold and very dangerous, as Mick is making his car as wide as possible. But coming through here, we want to try to send it into this corner, but we just go super wide, and Mick has the perfect racing line and is able to get a much better exit than us, and just completely demolishes us off the exit as we go wide here. But luckily, no track limits or corner cutting violation, as I believe we've almost gone through all of ours. But we do have DRS and Mick doesn't, but again, this is a hard area to overtake on, and can't really do anything as we did go a little bit wide here and completely destroying our straight line speed coming down the final straight. But we do have a chance, as Mick does not have DRS again, to send it down this corner, but we're just too far behind Mick. But now I still don't think he has DRS. We apply as much ERS as we can, as we're super low at 4%. And now it's time to send it down into turn 1 as we try to go for the inside, but can't quite get it. But we do make it out of the chicane, and we're able to overtake Mick. And we are now within 2 seconds of Pierre and Esteban, which is P11th. And as you can see, the McLaren of, I believe, Daniel Ricciardo, yes, is fighting with the bunch, and that is a points position within our grasp. Never in this series have we scored points in F1 2022, and this is only the second race, as the last series, I can't even remember what round we made it to. We made it to Azerbaijan, but I never recorded that video. So we are definitely able, within the capability of points, as Pierre Gasly just locks up, and this is perfect, as we don't have to fight with him at all to overtake Esteban Ocon. This is perfect. Everything is playing into our hands. P11 is definitely possible. P10, definitely possible, but we're going to have a very clean and fast overtake over Ocon. Otherwise, Daniel Ricciardo is just going to pull out too much time, as that McLaren is definitely much faster than our car. So it's not entirely out of the book, or out of the picture, but it is going to be a stretch. But I do believe we can get P11th around here, as we will still have DRS, but I believe Ocon is still within DRS range of Daniel Ricciardo. But we are just ever so slightly closer, I'm sure, to Ocon than Ocon is to Daniel Ricciardo. But again, can't really overtake around here, and we just have to get a good exit, as kind of in the earlier stages I was not getting a good exit out of around there. I was just releasing on the gas a little bit too much. I wasn't 100% confident in the car's traction, but you are actually just able to go almost flat out coming out of it, as we are within half a second of Esteban, and hopefully we can try to overtake him. But as I said before, I was a bit confused on why I cut this video recording. We did overtake Esteban. It wasn't an awful little bit. It wasn't the best time. We were allowed very but P11 highest next race Australia, another technical go 1400, but we a little bit that's P11, highest ever been. Very low, all the
That's
way
a
up
fantastic
to
performance.
so definitely the race is
It
there.
hardly looked in doubt.
I just need
Tell
to
me,
improve one lap
how do you think
in
they...
qualifying. But there's really not much left to say. I will be making another video soon. I'll get that virtual Le Mans series video recorded out as soon as possible. The race will be tomorrow.
Let's have a look then at the
probably
drivers.
today.
Charles Leclerc steps into the championship lead. Now, let's discuss that. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I'm going to give it to the owner-driver
Next week,
today.
I'm not gonna
That
have
was a
my wheel
commanding
base.
performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time
So
to
I'm gonna
check
have,
out the constructors' standings. The lead at the top comes down
video,
after a strong
controller.
weekend from the challenging pack.
Maybe
There was
a
also a
Roblox
strong
video.
showing from the Mercedes team today as they
Something
make their
weird,
way
something
up the
that doesn't require
standings.
me.
It's been an absolutely
So I can
wild
feel it.
weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's
Video,
next.
but I'll definitely try to get Australia out before I ship my wheel base. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment what you guys want to see next. See you in the next one. Peace.